It is the Martha Zoller Show, and Zach Loggins is here with me today. He won a chance to fill in with me. We'll find out at the end of it that if it was worth his money. We'll be seeing on that. But joining me right now is Speaker of the House John Burns, and one of the greatest joys that I've had in the last 2 years is getting to know Speaker Burns better. We had crossed paths a little bit in Sylvania related to the Brier Creek site that had some Continental soldiers, and we swapped some land, and we got involved in this back when I worked for Senator Perdue, but we hadn't crossed paths much since then. And I got to tell you, Speaker Burns, it has been a joy to get to know you. Welcome.
Thanks, Martha. The joy is all mine getting to know you and work with you. And I tell you what, your folks love you. I just listened to about some very supportive ads. Everyone in Hall County and Gainesville and spaces further out are really listening to you. So you've got it going on, and congratulations, Speaker.
Well,
I appreciate you and your thoughts.
Well, it's nice, for an old girl to be able to get it together sometimes. Listen, wanted to just talk a little bit about the school choice bill and where it is, because I know it's passed on the House, and then there's some kind of like perfunctory work that's got to be done and pass on the Senate side, even though it passed last year. And then just your thoughts in general about it.
Well, Martha, you played that clip, and I think that's the focus for us. We want to give, and we want to give parents every opportunity to work with their children and make sure they're in the best place when it comes to educational opportunities. Martha, but let me say first, we have great educators in this state, all across the board. They do a fabulous job from pre-K to right on through our higher schools of higher learning, our university system. Great job. So this is about just giving folks opportunities and options. And we know that young people don't succeed if parents aren't involved. We need this as an opportunity to have parental involvement as they work with their young people, with their children, to help provide them with options that will give them a better life. And certainly we know quality of life begins with education with our young people. So we want to, this is a transformational concept, and I'm really excited about it. I think we've given all of our educators an opportunity to weigh in here and made some nice changes. And I think the Senate will work with us very closely on this. I think we've had lots of conversations with the senators and the support we've gotten from the lieutenant governor and the governor on the changes we made. I believe we're in a good place, and we certainly the Senate will confirm what we've done and pass the bill on out and send it to the governor's desk.
So one question we got from listeners related to QBE funding and how it might be affected. And the two questions I got was, one, people didn't know what QBE was. And second, how will it affect, if at all, funding of the QBE formula?
It won't affect QBE, Martha. And we're really proud that we're fully funding QBE. We have for a number of years. And certainly don't see that changing in any time. And we're very proud of what our public education system in Georgia does, and certainly QBE allows with the other resources that the state sends to the local partners when it comes to education. We feel like we're meeting up that obligation, but it's always an ongoing process. We'll continue to work with our local education experts and leadership to ensure that our school children's needs are met.
And QBE stands for Quality Basic Education, is what that means.
It does.
It's a formula that we use to make sure schools have the money they need to educate students, correct?
You're spot on there, Martha. That is exactly correct. And the listeners know over the years, sometimes that formula was underfunded, to be fully forthright. But for the last few years, when under the leadership of Governor Kemp and the great work we've done with being good stewards of the state, of the people's money, resources here, and we've been able to fully fund QBE, and I see no change down the road. We're committed to QBE. Over 40% of our budget goes to QBE formula, and we're doing other things like, transportation dollars are part of that funding process. So there's great support for our public schools and our public educators and our young people in this state. And that's not something we're going to back up on. We're going to continue to do that. And this school choice legislation will not impact that one iota.
Speaker Burns, it's a pleasure to speak with you this morning. This is Zach Loggins.
Hey, Zach.
Just want to commend you on helping to push this through. You mentioned the opportunities and options, and I think that's fantastic for the parents of Georgia to have that opportunity to make that choice for their children. Starting out with a great education or having the opportunity to have teachers that pour into them and parents that pour into them and communities that support them is obviously an important start for those kids. And I'm very appreciative of all that.
Well, and I think, too, the biggest question also, and then we want to talk about the DEA oversight, is how is the money going to be managed, the $6,400? It's not a direct payment to parents, correct? It goes into a fund that the parents can draw down.
That's correct, Martha. You've read the bill and you've listened to it. That's exactly
I've tried. I've really tried, Speaker Burns.
Well, you're good at following and certainly encouraging good legislation here. You have in your career, and certainly that's no change. And I know your listeners are well informed as well.
Well, and as you know, I'm the 9th District Representative on the State Board of Education, and the governor appointed me even though he knew I was in favor of school choice. And it's a tightrope that we walk, right? Because we want to make sure public schools are great. And I think we do have great public schools. We offer many charter systems within the public schools. But I look at this and have always looked at this, Bill, as a step in the right direction, and that competition is good for schools. It's not bad.
Well, I think in our free enterprise system, competition is good, Martha, and that also applies to our schools. Look, the Georgia House has always been very supportive of public education, and I said a while ago that will not change. We've always been good stewards and jealously guarded public education, and I see no different here. But we are, as you just said, and it was good seeing you last week, by the way. I didn't say that to you. But we know here there is a balancing act we have to do to ensure that we protect public education from pre-K through kindergarten, and I believe we struck that balance. We put a limit on how much can be appropriated and into the school choice program, and I think we've done the right thing. We've worked closely with those who had concerns, and I believe I put in a sunset on the proposition on the bill, and certainly, but also protecting those who would be into going to another school if they fit the criteria to change to another school. We will not, if you will, pull the rug out from under them. We'll grandfather them in until their career is finished, and by the 12th grade. So I believe we've used some good common sense logic here that protects our public schools, protects public educators and leadership in the public system, and protects our public school young people, and certainly, but give options to allow these young people and their parents to have just what I said, an option to when it comes to their education.
So can you give us an update also on the District Attorney Oversight Committee and how that's working?
Yeah, we're very proud of what we've done with oversight, Martha. We all know that that certainly public safety is an effort, a team effort, if you will, with our public safety officers that are out there enforcing the law. And then when they bring in these violators or to the and they come into the judicial system, that we expect and we deserve, the public deserves for the district attorneys in this state to do their jobs, and that's be a part of the process to keep the public safe when these criminals are apprehended, and not release them back out on the street, threatening the public again, and certainly creating a very dangerous situation for our police officers, our public safety officers. It's moving through the process. We know that we have it in the right place there, and we've listened to the highest court in Georgia, and we believe the issues have been satisfied, and I just look forward for the commission to get in place and go to work, and certainly create this oversight over all of the DAs in Georgia, but especially those that are not following what they were elected to do. Martha, the DAs in this state are elected by the people to do the job. But for me, more than that, they are entrusted to do that job. And that's just exactly what we expect them to do. And the public in this state, the citizens of this state, expect no more, no less, but they haven't given that, they have trusted all of us in public service to do our jobs. And that's what we want the DAs to do, just follow the law and do as they're assigned.
Well, Speaker Burns, we appreciate so much you giving us some time today. And I want to give you a little heads up. I'm going to be coming to see you sometime after the session because I have got an idea of something we really need to do about workforce development that I think is a good idea. I'm still fleshing it out, but it has to do with adult education and workforce development, and I want to talk to you about it. So I'm going to give you that little bug in your ear right now.
Martha, that'd be great. I'm always open to great new ideas that can benefit our state, and certainly we can ride around the area that I call home, and we can see lots of needs for workforce in that area. But Martha, I'm sitting here in my office and I'm looking at the Battle of Brier Creek, one gallant stand that occurred on March the 3rd, 1779, that you alluded to, on Tuckahoe WMA. We've done some good work. The Sons of the Revolution have done some good work there as we preserve that battlefield site, and we're excited about that. I want to take you up and when you come down, and we'll ride up to Tuckahoe, and you can see exactly what's been done to preserve our heritage and our history. And it's that's an important part of whom we are and what we do.
Absolutely.
We look out for the future, but we also remember the gallantry of our citizens that got us to this place, and we're appreciative of that. Thank you for having me today, Martha.
Thank you, Speaker Burns.